I like to get to know people. So we have to do the show, right? And I want to like get information out, but I also want to
Sure.
get to know the guest. So I created a questionnaire inspired by Inside the Actors Studio. Did you ever catch that show?
No, I didn't.
So it's a Hollywood type show, interview show. The host, James Lipton, was a professor
Okay.
at the Pace Actor Studio, the School of Theater in New York City. And so he would have these celebrities on the show. And at the end, he would always ask the same questions. So I always wanted to get to the end of the show because I always wanted to know like
Yeah.
what Brad Pitt's favorite word was or least favorite word
Got
was,
it.
right? So these are pet specific.
Okay.
And there are no right answers. So again, you're going to win this game. I just have 11 questions and you can elaborate if you want, or you can give me one word
11
answers.
questions. Okay.
That's it. You can give me one word or you can elaborate.
Got it.
Ready? Favorite
Ready.
breed?
Ooh, well, I'm going to elaborate on that one because we are in the process of deciding right now. And I am leaning towards a Great Dane for the reason that my 20-month-old, and this is not, I don't know if I should be sharing this, but I'm going to. We were at a friend's house a couple months ago, and they have a Great Dane named Hank. And my 20-month-old walked over there. Usually you kind of have an idea of where that, because you just never know. Every dog's different. But we were in like a safe place. And Hank was laying down on the ground. He walked over there and I looked over and he was like kind of like tugging on his ear. And then he just leaned in and laid on him and hugged him. And Hank just, kind of nuzzled into him. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is like the most amazing dog personality that like I had seen. Like it was like an amazing moment.
Yeah.
That I'll never
forget.
Gentle
giants. They're gentle giants, really.
They really are. And there's there's a lot of dogs that you can do that to, but it just felt like the way that Hank handled it was so gentle and he just understood. And this was a new kid. Like it wasn't, he had never met this kid before. So I'm considering that, but then I look at the logistics and that kind of throws me off. But so we'll probably my wife is really into the not mini, but the Bernese Mountain Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Berners
and we
are
have
great
a friend that
too.
has one, and it's a great dog too. So
yeah, they're wonderful
dogs. One of those too, and then secretly I love pugs. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, you don't want a pug and a baby.
Big range.
Yeah, you have the big dog and the little dog. Well, the only advice I can give you is that we've had a number of dog trainers on, and they all agree that puppies are the best thing for families with young children. So
we had to get to sleeping through the night.
I know, like you probably are just getting like your life back, and you're about to get a puppy, but it really is worth the effort.
It is. We're excited.
Awesome. What is your least favorite breed?
Whatever the hairless Chihuahua, the look of the hairless Chihuahua, because the friend
hairless,
had one
is there a hairless Chihuahua or is it the Chinese crested? No,
that's what it is. It's the Chinese
one with
crested.
the little puff.
Yes. I just cannot connect emotionally with that breed.
No, they're a little funny. I think you have to be like you have to have experience with them to appreciate them.
Yes.
Probably. Sure. Would your dog sleep in your bed? Or are you a no dog in bed type?
So that's a really great question. I think for us, it's a no dog in bed. It's a dog in bedroom. But I think that now our kids are at the age we got a dog. The dog could sleep in the 5-year-old's bed. And I think that'd be amazing.
That'd be cool, except for when he grows full size and then your 5-year-old's probably going to sleep on the floor.
Right.
Who or what wakes you up in the morning?
My alarm wakes me up. And that's usually about 4:45 every day.
What is your most used training command or cue? What is the one that you're going to teach your puppy first?
The sit and come for sure.
Yeah, come is
stay
good.
Stay is the general ones, but I love that. I love seeing the progression and how good they do.
Which is your least used training command or cue?
Yanking on the leash.
Oh, I like that. Very good answer. Yeah, I don't like that.
I see that a lot and it drives me crazy.
Very
Because the
good
dog,
answer.
yeah,
People think of a command or cue as something verbal, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. So I like that you said that. Very good.
for
I'm
sure.
impressed. All right. What pet related noise do you love?
The pitter patter of the feet across the hardwood floor, because you just kind
Yep.
of know that they're coming. I
They're
love that.
excited. You can tell
Yeah,
how
and they're
excited they
excited.
are by how quickly you hear that. Absolutely. What pet related noise do you hate?
The middle of the night whining, if there's kind of an issue, but I think I'm just really sensitive to that right now with young kids.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I
You
know.
know,
I agree.
you understand
I'm
that?
there. It's like PTSD a little bit when you're like
It
in the
really
thick of
is.
it. Yeah, it's really hard.
Like if there's a TV show on and there's a baby crying, you just like you shut it off. And it's like PTSD. It's like I just can't do it right now.
It really is. It's really hard. I don't think people understand how difficult parenting is. And I think that once you've passed, I'm still in the thick of it, but I think that once you've passed, you kind of forget it. There's like it's kind of like women who forget labor pains because it's like
Yes.
survival of the species. We have to forget in order to keep procreating. So yeah,
Yes.
you're still in the thick of it as I am. All right. So you're connected to the pet industry, but you're also in manufacturing and retail and all that. What pet related profession sounds interesting to you? Like it's something that you would try in another life?
I think in another life, I think pet photography is like there's just so many. Well, like for example, like I saw my son Boone go over to Hank, and like that is a moment like that captured. If you can capture that moment, and I actually have a picture of that somewhere that I'll have to look back up. Like I always just go back and look at that because the dog is so there's so much says in that photo. There's so much said about the dog, right?
Yes.
Without the dog really doing anything. And then there's so much said about the little boy. I think that that's a really cool thing that, you know, when you put people together, there's a bias or like it's just a natural trying to do something, even if it's even if it's authentic, there's just a smidge like, oh, I want to kind of look this way or feel I want it to come across this way. Well, dogs don't have that. You know, they're
Right.
just 100% authentic every moment. And I think that catching that on photography would be really, really cool, really
That
rewarding.
I love that. That's so true. Yeah, there's no self-consciousness. You're describing a dog
Yeah,
and a 20-month-old that they're completely who they are and like
yeah.
interacting. That's beautiful. I love that. And how about what pet related profession would you never want to try?
Um, dog walking.
Really? I used to be a dog walker. That was my
I
profession
know.
for 12 years. Why not? It's therapeutic.
I know. I think that I wouldn't be very good at. Well, I mean, maybe if it was one dog, but I guess when I think of dog walking, I think of New York City and like 10
Yes.
dogs. I guess that's why that
No,
comes
you're
to
right.
mind.
Okay, so if you're talking pack walking, I'm 100% with you. We never did pack walking. I get stressed. I get like I literally have a panic attack anytime that I even see a photo of that, just because there are so many moving parts, and that is so scary. And props to whomever can do it. Hopefully, they have really good insurance. But yeah, it wouldn't be for me either.
So the other part would be trainer, because I think that takes a lot of focus and and I just consistency, and you
Yes.
know I think that I want to have more fun, and not that that's not fun, but the way they enjoy it is way different than it'd be like. I just don't think it'd be a good fit for me.
You know what's funny is I always say that pet parents are the hardest part about dog training. I tried
Oh,
dog training and
totally.
I couldn't do it because pet parents wanted a magic pill. And what's interesting is that you sell a magic pill. You literally have a magic pill that helps in so many ways. Do you
Right.
actually have any like anecdotal evidence that it helps behavior?
Oh, well, so for sure. Um, the thing that you've got to remember is that a dog that has inflammation doesn't feel good. So if the dog doesn't feel good, it's no different than us. Like if we have a stomach ache, the way we react to things is way different than if we feel good. And so this was actually a surprise to me and new to me, but it's a big deal in the dog training world because they want the dog to be receptive and also to learn. And if you don't feel good, you're fighting your system's fighting other things. You're less receptive to actually get the benefit of the training for sure. So yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Which would you recommend for just like, let's say, a 2-year-old dog that's going through training that doesn't have any specific like health issues, but is it the Focus that you would recommend?
Yeah, so the Focus product that we use for calming, it really just breaks the fight or flight that inflammation can cause, which relates into anxiety. And so we have a lot of dog trainers that recommend that to their customers to kind of keep on, especially those certain dogs, to just kind of keep them calm. It's like a good glass of wine. It calms you without changing your behavior, personality, or causing drowsiness.
It just takes the edge off for sure.
Takes
That's
the edge
great.
off, yeah.
Especially for like a puppy training class where it's like a group class. That might be a nice thing to do. Just kind of
no
like
doubt, right?
Reduce that.
Like
intensity.
we need that sometimes, like if we go into situations that are, like.
Yes.
Very...
When the toddler's losing it. Yes. I need the Focus treat.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, last question. If the Rainbow Bridge exists, who is the first pet to greet you when you arrive?
Oh, Dutch.
Who's Dutch?
Dutch. In fact, I got teary-eyed earlier. I don't know if you noticed, but we were talking about when to know how to put a dog down. And see, I'm like getting teary-eyed now, just thinking of Dutch. Dutch was the greatest dog in the history of dogs. And I did not know when to put him down. And so I had to actually call a friend of mine who was a dog person to the core in every way, to just come over and give me another set of eyes, because I couldn't do it. So Dutch, I cannot wait to meet on the other side for sure. I've been waiting a long time for that guy.
Oh my goodness. I love that. And you know what?
Sorry about
that is the hardest thing. No, please.
It's the worst.
It's the hardest thing about having a pet is knowing when to say goodbye. And I always say this to my friends, because as a person that has been helping people raise dogs for as long as I did, I mean, I had my business for 13 years. We had puppies come in 2008 that did not make it until we closed. So they passed away, and people never feel like they did it too soon. Sometimes they feel like they waited too long. And there's never a moment when it's the right moment. It's just the moment when you're like open to making that decision for them. And the best thing we can say is that it's taking their pain and making it our own. And it's like the biggest gift we can give them.
Right? Yeah. And I think you nailed it on, like, if Titan is waiting for you, right? Like there's a level of desire and want to continue whatever those things are. When that kind of goes away, something has changed, and I wasn't strong enough to do it on my own. I had to have somebody basically tell me, like force me. It's really, when for Dutch, like his quality of life, that he wasn't able to do all the things that he wanted to do. And then it was just a real struggle. And that's kind of, that for him, that was kind of when it was.
Absolutely.
Whew, okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up so that I don't make you cry anymore.
Did not plan on crying on today's podcast. So.
Yay! Well,
that
just means that we got to know you, your authentic self. And that is exactly the goal of this show, because people don't realize that behind their veterinarian, behind the producer of their favorite treats, behind their groomer, there's a human who does this because they love the animals and they're trying to do their best. People forget that. And that's the goal of this show, is to put the pet parent and the pet professional in the same place so they can get to know each other and work together for the benefit of their pet.
Yeah, it's awesome. And one thing that we hear that I think is the theme on just what you said is that the coolest thing that I get is when somebody sends me an email that says, I'm now walking again, the same like walk that we did for years. We're doing that together. And that bond that's created in that moment, whether it's the same walk or the hiking or the, whatever it is, that's really, really cool to hear, because those are, amazing moments that you don't want to let go. And someday you'll have to, right? But if you can extend those for as long as possible, and it's a really cool thing.
It's wonderful. And for that, I am forever grateful to your product, because you have done exactly that for us.
Well, we appreciate it.
All right. Well, you guys have an awesome weekend. Give my regards to your wife and to your kiddos, and keep us posted on your new pet. I'd love to see pictures once
we will do that.
The puppy comes home. All right.
Good, for sure. Excited.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you again for taking your time to hang out with me.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.